For the first time since the pandemic, you can once again visit a special place to see the best and brightest in ocean exploration, science, and education.
KTLA's Gail Anderson live in San Pedro with the details. Ooh, what do you got for us this time?
Frank, Jessica, my mind is blown. This young man you see working in this tank where these tubes are and the water's bubbling, what you are looking at, they're telling me, and I'm going to have them explain it to you, is what will replace fossil fuel. Dr. Sergey Nuzhdin and Madeline Hardin of the USC Aquaculture Department. Madeline, you're one of his doctorate students. Am I exaggerating? Is that hyperbole?
No, it actually has the potential to be very disruptive in the biofuel market.
And what we see in these tanks, Doctor, is some form of kelp, seaweed?
Yes, this is brown algae called giant kelp. And what you see here is a baby of giant kelp. About half a year from now, it will be 10 meters long. And then that biomass will be possible to use to produce biofuels.
And you say this is a baby of giant kelp?
Yes, a baby of giant kelp. If you have seen those kelp forests in the ocean, you know that West Coast and California has abundance of them, but those are wild stocks. What we now need to do is to domesticate them, to make them as efficient as land crops, as efficient as corn.
Madeline, you say that when this works, you'll be able to fuel anything now that requires petrol.
Potentially, yes. So more research is definitely necessary in this market. Right now, the work that we're doing in the Nuzhdin lab at USC is to understand the genetic underpinnings that will make them optimal as a biofuel crop.
For cars, planes?
Potentially.
Ships.
Yes, and ships.
And ships.
Yes.
How far off do you think how long will it be before we actually start to see this and say, oh my gosh, we first heard about this at AltaSea?
Oh gosh. Wow.
5 years, 10 years, but probably within reasonable time span.
Wow. And Tim McOsker, who is the AltaSea CEO, in addition to this kind of commercial application, there's another when it comes to food.
Absolutely. We are so pleased to have USC Seaweed Lab here at AltaSea at the Port of Los Angeles. The idea is that we have researchers next to our incubator space, and the research can catalyze new businesses. And we have a small example, but an important example, of a young woman in South LA who has a seaweed business, and we have connected this entrepreneur to these labs to create opportunities to commercialize some of these applications.
That is incredible. Well, if you don't believe me, here, check the website and learn more about the work of AltaSea, ahead of its time and cutting edge with everything that's going on, climate change, the meeting in Scotland. I mean, you're right on it.
And we're bringing business and research and community engagement all together to sustain the planet for future generations through the ocean.
Well, we hope to continue to follow this, and we want to remind people you're a nonprofit organization, so donations are always welcome and important. All right, back to you. I am amazed.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, doing cool